how my plans in Costa Rica changed completely from what I thought I was going to originally do here. Do you hear the scarlet macaws in the background on that giant Guanacaste tree? Well, a lot of other unexpected things happen, and this video I'm going to share a little bit more about what I thought I was going to do in Costa Rica and then what I'm actually doing here 6 years later. I originally thought I was going to be doing this.
Ladies and gentlemen.
But then, very quickly, I fell in love with plants and realized that I should be working with these guys, or should I say ladies too, and it completely transformed my reality. Now, stick around, because at the end of this video, I'm going to share a little secret that I've learned that has made all the difference in my experience, not only living in Costa Rica, but in life in general, and how I formed my plans from here on in. And it's less complicated than you might think. And a lot of people that are relocating to a different country are thinking of these complex plans, or, to be honest, what they say, faking it until they make it. That requires way too much work and way too much processing and way too much imagery, let's say, way too many illusions created, when you could really just simplify. But like I said, take a listen to my story. You're going to hear a first-hand experience of how life has alternate plans for us sometimes. And I once heard a phrase, it's a pretty famous phrase, that when man makes plans, God laughs. Trust me, it's true. But it arrives in ways that you would never imagine. So thank you guys for tuning in. And this is the story of how my plans entirely changed from what I originally thought I was going to do coming to Costa Rica, or in life in general, to what I'm doing now. So, as you just saw in that little screen grab, when I was on House Hunters International and coming into Costa Rica, even on my written plans, I had a completely different concept of what I thought I was going to be doing here. And little did I know that it would transform very quickly into me not just growing a food forest for my own food and for people coming to retreats, but it showed me that I didn't want to do retreats at all, that I didn't want to or necessarily feel qualified to host wellness and fitness retreats in a country that was filled with wellness and fitness. And I had owned a gym for a while, so it was a reasonable concept to think about, that I was going to evolve from owning a gym to hosting wellness and fitness experts here on my food forest that I was cultivating. And that's why I bought a space with a tennis court that I was going to put a roof over and have immediately try to transform into like an indoor facility, and also have living spaces and do like an Airbnb type thing with rental homes, because I do have a few guest homes here. And then very quickly, my priority shifted to working with all of these trees and fruits and plants. And as you can see, now there is abundance here. You just saw cacao. This is guava. I have all the flowers growing, the birds of paradise, heliconias, all different varieties of things going on. So many different fruit trees and flowers in the back. And just kind of walking through, you'll see the work that I've done over the past few years has been cultivating this garden, this food forest, botanical garden, permaculture, biodynamic space. There's my dragon fruit fountain. I'm a single man living here alone. I don't need a water fountain going at all times. Eventually, maybe we'll use it, but for now it's growing dragon fruit. So what's cooler than that? I've got my healing plants for when people want to have their own spiritual retreats or wellness retreats. They can come buy the plants to grow on their own property, so they're not importing them from countries and farms that they don't know how they're coming up. The dogs are happy here. I have 6 rescue dogs now. That number is probably going to increase in coming years. I'm growing exotic fruits. This is my second caviar lime tree that's just starting to flower. So in a few months, we'll get the first fruits here. Those of you that have visited here know that I have abundant caviar limes already. So it's like, you know, listeners, tell me in the comments, how often in your life have you had access to caviar limes? I mean, I got hundreds of other fruits here, but that's one that's very rare that not even my Costa Rican friends have experienced. And I love that I get to share that with them, and they share things back. And there's really like a barter community that I've cultivated here that, you know, I can't say I've originated, but I've really amplified when people have said, how much money should we give you for this and that? I said, well, there's money, but there's also, what do you grow on your property, or what things do you know that I don't have here from what you've seen? And they give me all types of gifts, different trees. I mean, this is a fun one too. I'm just gonna side tangent occasionally because this is my passion now, and this is what the nature of this video is I'm not hosting boot camp training sessions and bringing in people from all over the world to exercise and get healthy. As soon as you show up into Costa Rica and you start eating and moving the way that Costa Ricans move, you're healthier and your wellness improves significantly. This is Takia, one of the new ones. She splits time between my house and my neighbor Pablo's house, and she is living her best life, and she's got a big family. Taki, say hi. Taki. No, you camera shy? She doesn't want to show her face. Adorable. But yeah, like, I've got cinnamon growing. You can see just behind that is oranges. This is my coffee, my homegrown coffee plant that's filling up abundantly. It's so heavy with the fruits that it's starting to tilt over, like, and I've got maybe 25 or 30 of those here. It's a verified food forest in less than 6 years. And this has become my true passion. So what I thought when I did my House Hunters International episode, and I was like, I'm gonna run a wellness and fitness retreat, and that's how they covered me. I have zero interest in doing that. There's so many wellness and yoga retreats and healing retreats and all this stuff all over, from Esterios to Playa Hermosa and Jaco to up the mountain in Mastatal. And I'd rather recommend people to go to them because they're run by ticos, they're run by locals, and I wouldn't feel comfortable doing anything that they're doing and stealing business away from them. So I've started to do something that nobody else around here was doing. Look how happy these dogs are, by the way. Full freedom. There's no leashes necessary in this country. They're just having fun, bouncing around, foraging for fruits just like we do. And I mean, just the fun of this is I don't cut anything. I've said in other videos, like, I don't use weed whackers or lawn mowers or chemicals. So this is a papaya tree that just started to grow, probably from seeds that were dropped by a bird in my little coffee farm here. It's so magnificent. Like, I love working with plants, to be honest, more than I enjoyed working with people. I loved everybody that came to Temple Kinesis, all of my personal training clients going back to when I was in college. But this is a different experience, and I just wanted to share a little bit about how this came to be and how my plans transformed, because the moment I stepped foot on this land, it shifted. I mean, right when I bought the house, it was, okay, I'm going to start doing, you know, wellness myself. I had a business. I was going to open up, you know, a business that I employed local personal trainers, Costa Ricans, massage therapists, acupuncturists, build a business locally around that, and then start offering those same services to international retreat hosts that wanted to come here and utilize the facilities and these services that, you know, I had connected with locally. And I did that for a very short amount of time, and then realized that the Costa Ricans were struggling post-pandemic to find like really consistent work, and I couldn't offer that. So I had people that were coming from San Jose, that were coming from Capos area, Manuel Antonio, Jaco area, that didn't have a busy schedule, and were like, okay, I've got to reach out and do more. And they discovered me. They saw my TV show, they saw, or my episode, I should say, on House Hunters International, and people started reaching out. We've got some blue Java bananas here. They're just some that I chopped down because these are going to feed the chickens at some point once they ripen. And I just realized, like, okay, I can't provide consistent enough work for people, but what I can do is harvest a lot of the fruits that we're growing here. Like, for example, I have this 400, 500-year-old mango tree up there that produces a couple thousand mangoes a year. I've got water apple trees that produce thousands a year, tens of thousands of fruits a year, oranges, limes, there was Cass. What else was here when I got here? Just a few things, plantains and things like that, that were producing, and I could bring them into town and sell them, give some away to local business owners, tell them what I was doing here. People would start to place orders, and I was making a couple dollars here and there, you know, generating maybe one of my bills worth every month. Like my electric bill would be covered, and I'm like, okay, so this is a sustainable business, and this is kind of what my business is registered for anyway, like a wellness kind of agriculture type business. So then I started thinking, okay, let me go to a bunch of the nurseries in the area, the viveros as we call them in Costa Rica, as they're named in Spanish. And I started picking up other trees like avocado trees and different forms of bananas and different forms of, you know, everything from dragon fruit to star fruit to guanabana to just endless. Like you guys have seen my past videos. I have over 100 species of fruit trees growing here. And then things like this will just show up in the river. Beautiful giant plants that, you know, people pay thousands of dollars for in the United States, and they literally wash down the mountain. I go through the river a couple times a week, and when I find these, I relocate them. Like this one, for example, there's so many spiders, which is a good healthy thing. This one, for example, fell off of the tree somewhere in the mountains, washed down the river. I found it, and it's now planted itself, and this pops out a new baby every couple of weeks, I would say. And then they grow very fast, and it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous tree or bush or ornamental. And these sell for a lot of money. So these are just, I literally put a few things here, started building a food forest, and then nature started providing. And this is what I meant, was like when man makes plans, God laughs, but also the universe will have different plans for us than we ever imagined for ourselves. And these things just show up for me. I can't even explain it. It's a divine miracle in a sense where, you know, you could see another type of cacao growing here, and then there's something climbing up it. This is like a monstera that just naturally started climbing up it. And I let things go kind of wild. Like this big mango tree produces thousands of fruits a year, and then they start growing babies from the seeds underneath. And I could throw this in a bag and sell it for $10. So like, why would I be trying to arrange and organize wellness retreats, doing $10,000 renovations on the tennis court when I could just let my dogs run around as a dog park for now, let it overgrow a little bit. In the future, we could do all that stuff. But for now, I'm making money selling fruits. I'm making money selling trees. And since the beginning of this year, I've been making money taking people through tours of exactly what we're walking through now, discussing everything I'm discussing right now, how this all got started, how I never expected it, how I fell in love with it. And then also, as tourists come, they can pick all these fruits, like hand forage, their own stuff, all organic fruits, bring home bags of food with them, have an experience that they really haven't experienced anywhere else. I've been on other food tours and spice tours, and maybe they let you, you know, smell something or try a little dish that was made with it in the beginning of the tour. I haven't been to anything like this where you could just kind of walk around and hang out with the dogs and the chickens and really get this interactive, almost like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory experience where you can grab some fruit off a tree and try it right there and then bring a bunch home with you if you've liked it. And then the next step is I have a restaurant space, which was going to be part of the retreat center, which will now be a farm-to-table eatery, gastronomic experience that is amorphous, and every month, every week or so that we can harvest different types of fruits and come up with different recipes. That's what we're going to be doing and offering people. So it's going to be the end point to the tours, but also be open to either the public or like kind of a membership-based place where people could come and try a chef's menu that's ever changing. And when we find some good recipes that people love, we're going to keep them as staples on the menu and then just keep trying new things, like, you know, hopefully eventually like a Michelin star style restaurant that, you know, gets renowned all over the world and people want to try it because it's very unique. And this is just the beautiful food forest. Thankfully, I've had my volunteer from Mexico City, Natalia, helping me chop this all down. She's been learning machete work the past couple weeks, and she's here for another month. And then, you know, anybody that's watching this that's, you know, from Costa Rica or other countries locally that want to learn agroforestry, reach out to me. If I have space available, you're more than welcome to come and work for a couple weeks, work for a couple months. We'll figure it out. And you can help me grow all this stuff. And, you know, we just, for example, Natalia just helped me plant this little section over here. We've got this beautiful flower called Heart of Jesus, or ornamental. We've got these guys, the Ruelias. We've got, this is gonna be a yellow flower. And then I've got a bunch of turmeric planted in. This is another papaya that showed up in the river. We've got some medicinal herbs. We've got a bunch of different varieties of chili peppers planted now. Let me try to get this name right. It's Calancho. This is like a medicinal mountain oregano almost. And then we're just gonna open up this whole section and do more medicinal plants. You could see a flowering ginger that I found by the river and relocated. It's already abundant. This is a fruit called cas. It's like a Costa Rican guava. It's got all these little air plants on it too. And these even sell for money. So like you could put these in like a little pot and people will buy these for a couple dollars. And there are thousands of them on this tree. So why in the world would I be hustling and bustling and struggling to open a wellness retreat and trying to recruit all these other people and compete with all these other wellness retreats and yoga retreats around here when I could just very easily work with the land? I've got cassava, yucca growing here. We've got more chili peppers. That's hibiscus, an edible hibiscus, Jamaica, if you're familiar with it. That's been eaten by the leafcutter ants, but you can see it's already growing back. So things are resilient here in the jungle. This is just a beautiful pink flower or purple flower. Getting my colors mixed up. That's a happy astro. This is the life, huh? So this is my life now. And the key, the secret that I promised earlier in the video is very simple, is if you're moving to Costa Rica and you have this concrete plan in your mind, this is what I'm going to do, I'm telling you right now, it's not going to work. Even if it's a beautiful plan and a wonderful plan, don't make plans when you move here. Have your finances, have your assets, have your flexibility, have your open-mindedness, and then see what nature tells you. Walk the jungles, go on different tours, different places, go to different beaches, talk to locals. Don't talk to other immigrants, expats. They don't know what they're doing here either. I've met hundreds of different people from different countries outside of Costa Rica, and not a single one of them has actually known what they're doing. You got to listen to your community, and this is the key. When my neighbors found out I was doing wellness retreats or potentially going to do that, or they saw the House Hunters International episode, they were like, oh, can you personal train me? And I was like, you know what? No, because I can't legally work here and I don't want to offer something that I'm technically not allowed to do. I can set up a massage therapy session with a massage therapist, but they would have to come all the way from San Jose, and it would be like a burden financially and temporally, and it just didn't feel right. You know when something feels right in like your gut, your intuition, and it didn't feel right. So I stepped back. Thank you to my friend Valeria, because she had an English as a second language school, and I was working with her for a couple of years, and that was providing sustainable income as I got the food forest started, because this is not something you could just do overnight. Everything you plant has to take a couple of years to start growing and becoming fruitful and start cloning itself. Whether it's the bananas that pop babies out like this, we call them hijos, and then I could spread my banana farm, but it takes a few months before it gets big like this, and then it can start fruiting. Or an avocado tree that takes 7 years from when you plant it as a seed before it starts fruiting. So this stuff takes time. Something simple like this, a little lemongrass, obviously grows much quicker in abundance, but you can't sell this for a lot of money. I sell one of these plants for maybe a few of them for $1, and people plant them, and then within a few months they got a ton of lemongrass, but nobody's out here buying kilos of lemongrass and stuff. So, you know, I have some clients that buy it along with other food orders, and, you know, they use the, the bulbs to make good Thai dishes as an ingredient in a lot of their stir fries and foods. But ultimately, this is an experience that, or a profession or a career or a passion that takes several years to cultivate, but once it does, it becomes super fruitful. Now, if you asked me 10 years ago if I would be a farmer and having a food forest in Costa Rica, I would say absolutely not. No way that would be Toby, because I was very much like, I had gold earrings, gold rings, gold jewelry. I was a well-known, semi-famous, gym owner and fitness brand owner, entrepreneur. So of course I was going to transition, and my idea was to transition to Jamaica or Costa Rica to open these wellness retreats and continue that legacy that I had built with Temple Kinesis, and life had a different plan for me. So the big secret is, don't have any plans. Come here with an open mind, learn the culture, learn the language, ask your neighbors what they are looking for. And the reason I found out what I should be doing is because I had some of those fruits I mentioned earlier. The manzana de agua, water apple, the mangoes, the plantains, the coconuts here, the cas, this big tree behind me, star apple, caimito. And my neighbors would come over and they'd ask me for bags of these things. And I said, yeah, of course, I have abundance. And they said, how much should I pay you? And I said, I don't know. I said, how much would you pay? And they started giving me money, or they would trade me milk or farmer's cheese or other trees and plants and medicines to plant. And something clicked, and I said, this is the business I should be in. So I went back to the other nurseries and I saw what everybody was selling in town. And I said, I don't want to be competition to the Ticos. I want to be complementary to the culture here. I don't want to steal customers away. I want people to come to my space and find things that they can't find anywhere else. And that's how the Jungle Temple Agroforest and Garden Center started. It was not my plan. It was not something I expected to do when I moved here, but it's what I was meant to do. And I have never been happier doing anything in my life. If anybody knows me, I've always been a focused, serious person, athlete, entrepreneur. And here I'm like a little kid playing in a playground every day. It's my giant sandbox, and yeah, it just brings new joy every day because I find new things growing. This dragon fruit fell out of that giant guanacaste tree, and I decided to plant it on 10 different trees around the property, and it just fell in love with this ornamental bush growing next to my little natural pond here that has a couple turtles in it. Like, never could I imagine in my life that I would be saying I've got dragon fruit growing on, a beautiful, really cool looking ornamental plant next to a natural pond that was originally meant as a pool, and my dogs are running around free from collars, super happy, foraging food themselves, chasing lizards and iguanas, and coexisting with the chickens and the other animals of the jungle. And gosh, it just flashed Ringwood Rovers when I was a little kid playing soccer at Stonetown Field and looking up at the mountains, thinking I would just love to spend the rest of my life in those mountains. Little did I know that it would be here in Costa Rica. I would have my chickens and my puppies running around happy. Don't make plans. That's the secret. Don't make plans. Let life give you the plan. Just follow your passion. Learn the community you live in. Listen to what the people are telling you, and the plan will manifest for you, and the success will follow. I am now at a point where I don't have to work anywhere else. I have customers on a weekly basis for the tours, for buying fruits, and for buying the trees. I have a farmer's market that I work at once a month that provides a significant amount of my bills, just selling like 15 trees there every month. And then that generates advertising for me for my tours here and for people to come and get more abundance for their food forests. I've had the kindness and generosity of friends who, when I've had difficult months and I haven't been able to afford my bills, that they've helped me as like a donation basis to keep things going, because this project is so beneficial for the world and for everybody right now. As everything's burning down and getting paved over, I'm here reestablishing the ecosystem like many, many other people, like Costa Rica as a whole is doing, in a world that doesn't seem to care about ecosystems and nature and biodiversity anymore. This country is way ahead of the pack and leading the charge in that. If you don't know much about Costa Rica, not only are we huge fruit exporters, but we are the world's leading medical device exporter. We have some of the most longevity-rich people on the planet. Look, even my neighbor's dogs come over to say hi. Luna's pregnant right now. She's going to have babies, and I'm going to get one of her babies so they can stay here forever. This is Manchas, the father of the the babies to come. And it's just all love here. Like, look, Taki is here. This is my life here. Free roaming, happy dogs. All smiles, right? Big smiles on the puppies. Thank you, baby. The good life. So guys, thank you always for tuning into my channel. It continues to grow in subscribers and I appreciate it a lot. I am not a million subscriber influencer. Maybe I will be one day, but for now, if I can influence a couple hundred of you, a couple thousand of you to start growing food and start growing trees, or at least just learning how to properly align yourself to follow your dreams and let life give you purpose and let life give you success, that's my intention and that's my legacy, and I'm very grateful. And thank you to everybody who supported me in the difficult times. Every one of those dollars that you've sent to me has gone to this project, has gone to me being able to sustain my livelihood, pay my bills, buy some groceries for myself, buy dog food for all these guys, buy treats, take care of them medically when I need to. And let's just finish over here with the caviar lime tree that's got all the fruits. I don't know if you can see there, but look at all these fruits coming in. These are all caviar lime. These are not fully ripe, but I'm gonna open one up so you can see it for the camera. Oh, yep, this is still a white one. They usually turn pink, but still wonderful nonetheless. So good. So anyway, no more to go. If you appreciate what I'm doing here, there's a link in my bio where you can also contribute and donate. I appreciate every single dollar that comes in and nothing goes to waste. I don't spend money on clothes and shoes and jewelry anymore. That's not who I am. That was my past life. Now I look to buy new trees, and this video is going to be out about a week before September 1st. September 1st, I have an appointment up in Perez Zeledon for residency stuff, or for my business. And the dogs are all recognizing each other. And just interactions of animals. Guys, be nice. Those are your neighbors. Being gangster. Who's the alpha? I'm the alpha. Anyway, I'm going to go to Perez Zeledon on the 1st, and I'm going to go to a nursery that I haven't been able to get to, and they have a lot of exotic, unique varieties of trees that I want to start adding here. I want to get acai. I'd like to get, I think, blueberry they sell. They also sell Mano de Buddha, Hand of the Buddha limes, which are very unique and interesting. I have a list. I think blood orange. There's a few. I got a whole list that I'm going to get. So if you guys contribute now this week when you see this video, it's going to go to more diversification of the food forest here. And yeah, come visit. Come take a tour. When you're near the Central Pacific Coast, anywhere between like Oritina, Tarcales, Jaco, Dominical, Manuel Antonio, and you want to come for a food forest tour, just reach out, hit me up in the comments, reach out to my social media at Tobin Osuski, and we can arrange a food forest tour. And just a little highlight of some of the unique flowers that are here too. I try to plant as many as possible. You see pinkies down there, this beautiful red one, and the frustration of my dogs wanting to go play with each other and socialize. And anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. And like, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Share this video with anybody that might want to start a food forest or is moving to Costa Rica and is unsure of what to do. Hopefully this little secret I put at the end is very helpful, that don't necessarily come in with concrete plans. Let your neighbors, let your community tell you what they need, and do that.